Hi, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Sarah.
And baby Reese is off to the side.
Sorry, Sierra.
Yeah, she's being a grumpy gills right now, so no flash photography for the baby.
Get her next time.
So today's video, we're gonna talk about how much it cost. Is that how you say it? Cost? how much it was to make our sweet angel baby, Reese.
Mm-hmm.
Insert picture. Oh, sweet angel baby. So you should probably get a snack. If you're gonna watch this video, get a snack, get a drink, because I can't help myself and will probably explain too much, because that's just who I am. And Sarah will say nothing.
It's for the best in this video.
You'll just be like, yeah, that happened.
I was there.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say the numbers of everything, of how much roughly things were, because we don't have all the info. I was saving stuff like in my wallet after visits and threw it out. So I was like, yeah, I don't need this anymore. Well, I did. Okay, so I guess starting off, obviously every sperm bank is different and every fertility clinic is different for price wise. And even the time where we were with our one fertility clinic, they changed their prices towards the end and increased their prices on procedures that we were using. So,
and we don't have help with insurance.
Right.
So, if you do,
I have good health insurance. We have the same
plan. Yeah.
Every time that I went to the fertility clinic, I had to pay my $35 copay, and then they would send my stuff bill to the insurance company, and then the insurance company would see what they would cover, which was nothing, and then we would pay afterwards. Yeah. There were some things we paid up front, which we'll go over, but for the most part, we got billed after the fact. So I was like, oh, when we first started, I was like, oh, $35. Yeah, you get that leg.
You can see your little feet.
I think at the beginning, like, research what I would say, looking back, research your fertility clinic, what they offer, and I would say look into your sperm bank and then also what they offer. We went in like, la la la, like, let's make a baby, but we didn't know, I guess, the options that there are. Like, our sperm bank has a part where we can stay connected with the other sperm donor families if they're open to it. And which is really great. So that's something I didn't even think about. You know, I thought maybe she would have to wait till she was 18 before any sort of connections happened, but we got lucky that the one we picked had that. I don't know if every sperm bank has that. We've only worked with one. Worked with sounds like it's a partnership. No. They take your money.
Yeah,
So
it's a transaction.
A transaction. We, at the time, were living in Jacksonville, Florida, and we used FIRM. I forget what does it stand for.
Florida's
Institute
of Reproductive Medicine.
Okay, yeah. We really loved FIRM, so if you're in the Jacksonville area, highly suggest them. They were great people to work with, always friendly. It was a good experience. We were like the only gay couple that I ever noticed.
Yeah.
Just as like fun facts. Not that that matters, but like when we would be in the waiting room, there really wasn't a lot of people in the waiting room when we would go, and it'd only be like a couple, like two people, or
a woman by herself, I feel like.
Yeah. There's only a few times where there was like 5 people in the waiting room. It was only
Yeah.
a little bit. And our place we went to had 3 locations that we could go to, but there's only one, I think, where we would get inseminated, right? So there's things to look at, like, while they did have multiple locations, we only had one place we had to go to get inseminated. So things to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll drive an hour to like go get inseminated. Like, I don't care, but you might. So, after we decided on them, after a copay of $35, first consultation that we had, Sarah and I went and we talked with our doctor. We didn't pick a doctor, they just assigned us one. I could have asked for one, didn't know anything about them, so we got lucky with our doctor. She was really cool.
I think it's weird because she is from where we moved to. So where we moved back home in Pennsylvania, our doctor was from.
Yeah.
So it made it like easier for her to relate to us, and
it really
vice
did.
versa.
So our consultation, after first consultation, $35, and we think it was $129 and change after the fact. So there's that. And that's where we just discussed plans moving forward, what her ideas were for fertility, and we knew nothing about, didn't know what my body was going to do. So we just went with her plan. So at our consultation, we talked about my appendix exploded. Sorry, my appendix is. Since my appendix exploded, probably 10 years ago, 9 years ago, since it exploded, there was concern that one of my fallopian tubes could have been compromised with wherever your appendix is and your organs for making babies. So I had dye. It was suggested that I have the dye situation inserted so they could look on the monitors to see the dye flow evenly to both fallopian tubes. That cost roughly $300 with a copay of $35. We had another consultation after we tried,
I think it was 3 or 4 times in, or we like wanted to see.
We tried 4 times unsuccessfully because the 5th try is when we did it, the Clomid.
Okay.
So we had another consultation after our failed 4th IUI. So that consultation again was another $129. So far with 2 consultations, the ink procedure, and 3 copays, we're at $675. At that second consultation, we discussed how we wanted to be medicated for our IUI inseminations. Our doctor was very pro a natural IUI with no medication. She said if we were, trying normally, or we were like a heterosexual couple, she would still suggest the same. She said there's no reason to start medicated. So that's why we trusted her judgment. That's why we did the unmedicated ones. So after our consultation, she was totally cool with doing a medicated IUI. We'll get to that. So far our total's at $675 with our consultations and the ink procedure. I have here written down the ovulation sticks that I purchased. Overall, I spent $270 on. I think I spent more than that. But I spent $270 on. My prenatals I spent about $100 on. And then folate, she suggested that that I take folate, and that was about $10. I got just folate off of Amazon. Was it the best one? Probably not, but it was folate. So look into it. Obviously, if there's different forms of folate, folic acid. So the one I chose was $10. So right now our total is at $1,055. I didn't put in the price for, what's it called?
Pregnancy tests?
Thank you. Pregnancy tests. I didn't add that price in. I don't know why.
She doesn't want me to know.
Yeah. I bought a lot. So, I mean, it's, after you see a negative one, you're like, yeah, okay. But then I would take one the next day.
Yeah.
It was a very traumatizing experience.
I mean,
it sucks.
how many did you use when it said pregnant? You just kept...
No, I used the rest that we had. Mm-hmm. But it was like 3 or 2. It was like 2 or 3. I was very interested in, but I didn't do, you know how like, not you, because you don't look at that stuff. You know how on like the other YouTubers or like Instagram people, Pinterest, whatever, they like would track the line of pregnancy to see like how strong and how pregnant they were. I was like, cool, I'll do that. I have some. And then my line got lighter and I was like,
nope.
I don't need that negativity in my life. Like, I will overthink every little detail. So I didn't buy more. I just used whatever we had and then waited. So yeah. So next I have on my little list is insemination. So at our clinic, every time we got inseminated, it was $310, roughly. At 310, we did that 4 times, and that was $1,240. Then they increased their price at $420. We did that twice. That was $840. So right now, our total with everything I talked about is $3,135. My health insurance did cover part of Clomid. I don't understand why. I wasn't going to question it, but the Clomid we started on cycle 5 was $20. And because of the Clomid, I had to take an HCG shot, which was $110. The $110 I had to pay up front. It wasn't like take it to your insurance company and they bring it back. It was something you paid up front. And my nurse there gave me the shot. So some people take it home or, I don't know, get a prescription and go to somewhere to pick it up and you give it yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, I don't want you giving me a shot. I don't want to give myself a shot. Like, could you imagine giving me a shot?
No.
Like, if we did, obviously, like, if I carried your baby, what's that?
Reciprocal IVF.
Yeah, like then we would have to like do shots and all that, and then I'd probably like it would suck, but I would do it.
Yeah.
But one shot, hard pass. So with the Clomid and the HCG shot, our total now is $3,265. And the Clomid, we only did once. I think we talked about it in like a video in the beginning. But basically, we missed our opportunity to use Clomid for our 6th cycle, which is the one we got pregnant on with Reese. Naturally, it was a natural IUI. So I always think about like, if we did Clomid, would we have 2 Reeses? Would we have no Reeses? You know, like, it's a mind fuck.
Yeah. It's like a game of chance.
It is.
Every time.
And the only reason, don't watch the video, it was probably really bad. But the reason we didn't do Clomid for our 6th cycle was because it was around Easter, and where my cycle lined up, it was the weekend, and
they were closed.
They were closed. However, they told us I should have just driven down. And so, I mean, the more you know. Like, who would have thought, like, I didn't think my cycle was gonna, you know, be around Easter and fuck shit up. But just know all the facts about your fertility clinic, because they did tell us we're open 24/7, because it's really your body that's like the boss of what's going on. So they talked about it in our initial consultation that they're always available, and so the person that answered the phone and we talked to was very negative and was like, they're closed. And it was a horrible experience with that person, not the fertility clinic. It was like whoever answered the phones said we couldn't go. Cut to we could have. So our sperm, it cost $15.60 each time, and that was buying 2 vials of our donor and then having it shipped to our fertility clinic.
So our doctor wanted 2 vials of sperm for each insemination, in case the count was too low. We would have a spare on hand.
Like if it didn't thaw properly also or
Yeah,
something.
I think so. So they could still like complete the IUI. We wouldn't have to wait like an extra month. We could just do it all in one go. But luckily for us, like the counts were always great. And we always, like when it didn't work, we had 1 spare left. That
they kept, and they didn't charge us to hold it. You know, and then when we would go, oh Lord, then when we would go on that second try with the 1 sperm vial left at the fertility clinic, like luckily it worked. I mean, it didn't work because I didn't get pregnant,
but it was good.
but the swimmers were there.
Yeah.
So we did that 3 times. We had 3 different baby dads. So that's another thing, is like if you really like your sperm donor for, you know, just in general, I guess without having to, if you like your sperm donor, buy all the sperm that you can, that you're comfortable with purchasing and thinking about how many children you want, which, you know, things happen mysterious ways. If we bought a shit ton of the first sperm donor, which we weren't attached to. We weren't attached to any sperm donors until now. Now we're attached to the one that made Reese.
Right.
So that, you know, hopefully our future kids will at least be
like full siblings.
Yeah, related. And then like if we used your egg in the future, they would be related.
Still be related, yeah.
So with the sperm 3 times, and that was the price of the sperm, the $15.60 for 2 vials plus shipping it. It was $4,680. So that brings our total so far from what we've talked about to $7,945. Crazy. The last thing on the list is our ultrasounds that we had. So when you get the ink test, I forget what it's called, when you had your tubes checked with the ink, with the dye, that is an ultrasound because they're looking at like the flow of the ink. This is your uterus, the tube. But the other ultrasounds we had were when I had Clomid, and they were checking to see the state of my ovaries and if they were viable, and you know, if they needed to proceed with giving me other medication. So we had my eggs checked at the beginning, I think. Then I had Clomid, and then they checked them again to make sure, for one, that I didn't have a lot of eggs that were viable, so I wouldn't have like an octomom situation.
Right.
They were even concerned about 2, I think. I think I had 3 eggs. One at the end was like, it was small enough. So it was really like 2. So we had like a 2 chance, and it didn't take. So our final total after the 2 ultrasounds at $125 each is $8,195.
Monies.
Yeah, and that's not it all. That's not everything.
Yeah,
That's not
like a guesstimate.
Yeah, that's bare minimum. So it's really great if you can get pregnant on your first try and be that person who gets pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, such a blessing if you got pregnant that quick. But I would say if your first time going to fertility clinic, get all of the facts that you can ahead of time and be your own advocate. You know, I think we talked about it in a video before, but like when I would get inseminated, they were okay. They said to like wait 20 minutes, I think, right? Stay elevated. And someone walked in one time,
Oh, yeah.
and my ass is like, I'm like, ah! So
I think that brings up like another scenario, like of the 6 times that we went. I think 2 or 3 of the times the doctor let me do
yeah,
like push
yeah,
it in. But it was always the same doctor that would, like, we got different doctors
yeah,
throughout, but the same doctor would be like, I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna do this together. So that was cool.
yeah,
But like other doctors didn't even bring it up, which I was like, I don't want to be the one
yeah.
to mess this up. So like if I get to do it, that's cool. But
Yeah.
if not, like.
Did you do it for Reese? I don't remember.
Mm-mm.
The doctor we saw the whole time, we never got her to inseminate us with like how their rounds were, and because they would go through the 3 different locations. We only got our actual doctor the last time, and she got us pregnant.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bitch, you could have.
That was nice though. Like
It was great. It was great. Yeah, it was. It's been great if it was the first time, but then we wouldn't have had Reese.
Yeah.
So it's like, a lot to think about. But I would just be your own advocate, find out all the information, write down all your questions. And now, like, I'm thinking of questions I want to ask if we go again to be prepared, because the next time that we would go, we're in Pennsylvania and we have to start with a whole new doctor again.
Yeah.
And I already know when I go, I'm asking to get medicated right away. So think about that.
Yeah. And I would say, like, just budget for the worst. As unfortunate as that sounds. But, like, next time, like, I would want us to budget for, like, $10,000. Just because, like, you never know when it's going to work.
Yeah. It's so scary. And worth it. But, like, crazy. I really friggin' hope we're the people that get pregnant the first time.
Yeah. That would
make it rain babies.
I would hate for us to be, like, in the middle of the process and be like, well, we're going to have to wait because we don't have the money to do it.
Yeah. As the person who is getting inseminated, which sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Is prepare yourself emotionally. Like, I'm a very emotional person, so it's tough watching. Like, I like to watch a lot of YouTube videos about people's experiences, and I watch so many IUI videos, birth stories, etc. It's tough watching people in their joy when you're in your negative space. So, like, prepare yourself, like, to be seeing all the positivity if you're not getting pregnant. That was really hard. And it was also something to keep in mind is, do you want to tell people that you're going to the fertility clinic? I think in hindsight, I kind of wish we didn't. It was exciting. And
or like as many people, like I told people at work, just because like we were excited,
and we needed our work to like be flexible.
Yeah.
Like, I would need to like switch shifts with people to like go get knocked up. So I needed that also. But I mean, I only told immediate family.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I told nobody, except for like Tiffany, my best friend. That's it. If you're watching.
Yeah. I agree. It was hard.
It's hard, and I think it's also weird because you don't know when heterosexual people are like trying to have a baby, you know? Like with us, like you have to plan it out, and I think it's also weird for other people. What do they say when they know you went? You know, are you pregnant? Are you not pregnant? Like,
Yeah.
it's tough either way. So, it's a lot to think about. Like, now that we know we want the same donor, like, our sperm donor isn't donating anymore. So that's something also to, like, keep in mind. I guess just, like, buy all the sperm that you can.
Yeah.
Because it took us 6 tries to get her. So, like, even, like, 6 vials is so much money. Like, if we bought 6 vials of one guy and they still didn't work, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. So, it's like, it definitely prepare for
But you could ask about the buyback program, too.
Yeah.
Which we probably wouldn't have used now that we know we want the same donor. But, like, if you just wanted one child
Yeah.
and you had extra, you could sell it back.
Yeah. All of the questions, the storage, how much does it cost? Like, they have deals, and our sperm bank would sometimes have like featured donors where it was buy one, get one.
It's so weird.
I know. But it took us 6 tries. And we're lucky it took us 6 tries. Sometimes it takes 24 tries. So, I really just, like, it's so emotionally draining. Was it emotionally draining for you being the partner?
Yeah. It's, like, hard just because, like, I have my own feelings. And then, like, I could see you're upset. So you're like, how do you balance both?
Yeah.
But then still be excited for, like, the next round because we know, like, or we knew we didn't want to stop. We want to keep pushing along. So it's just, like, so many things at one time.
It's a lot of emotions and it's a shit ton of money. But in the end, you got a baby, so.
Worth it.
Angel. Well, 2 hours later. Thanks for sticking through. Yeah.
We're out of here.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.
If you have any questions about IUI, please ask. I'm sure we forgot something. I talk so much, man, and I forget as we're talking. Like, here I go, just starting again.
Sorry.
I'm like, oh. I can't stop.
Okay. That's enough.
Okay, bye.
Bye.